Hello, and welcome to A VO's Journey. My name is Anthony Pica. This show is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business, sidestep all the crazy things that this guy seems to step on. It is, Wednesday, April 3rd. It is so good to... Did I say April 3rd? What is it? It's the day before my birthday. It's amazing. No, it's May 3rd. Sorry. It's May 3rd. It would have been nice if it was the day before my birthday. But it's May 3rd. Good to be here with you. I'm excited to talk to you about some script analysis today and to share with you the three parts of script analysis that I always focus on. I spoke about them briefly this morning at coffee time, and I want to elaborate on them today in this video. Real quick, before we get started on that, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button as well as the notification bell, because YouTube doesn't let you know, even if you subscribe, that I've posted a video unless you hit the notification bell. And also, check out the link below to A VO's Journey Elite Academy. We're offering 50% off the first month. It's a great place for you to come and learn how to start, grow your voiceover business. We've got coaches, live classes, pre-recorded courses, an incredible community. I mean, I'm biased, I know, but I think they're the best community out there. Just very active and supportive, a wonderful place for you to go if you're brand new. And also, if you happen to be watching this video trying to get a leg up on, where do I go to get a voiceover, check out academyvoices.com. All right, if you need a voiceover, you need a voice actor, you need to hire one, we'd love to help you. We're all human all the time. We don't do AI. It's only human voices, 100%. So, and none of our actors, we don't take any of their voices to use for AI. So anyways, if you're interested and need a voiceover, check us out. All right, let's go ahead and move into this topic today, script analysis. The three things I want to talk about are first, the intent. So you need to know what the purpose, the genre that you're in, the idea that you're trying to relay. Like, for example, is this a PSA, right? Is this a public service announcement? Is this a Coca-Cola commercial? Is this an audiobook? Is this an explainer video for a shipping company, right? Out of California or wherever. What is the intent of this video? And I like to use, or I say video, of this voiceover, I like to use genres to help me figure out the intent, right? Meaning, like, the purpose of the video is to do what? What kind of message is it trying to get across? Like I said, is it a PSA? Is it a product placement commercial, right, where we're promoting a product or a brand? Is it an explainer video? The reason why I like to figure that out is because by knowing that up front, each kind of one of these genres has its own unspoken rules, meaning that, like, we're going to say a public service announcement different than we are going to say read a meditation. I'm using very opposite type of things here, but we're going to read things differently depending on what they are. Okay, we write, we might narrate a nonfiction. We're probably going to narrate a nonfiction book different than a fiction book. All right, depending on how different those are, whether it's a sci-fi mystery thriller as opposed to a how do I put together a carburetor. We're probably going to narrate those. It would be interesting if they were narrated the same, though. Turn the key to the engine. I'm getting off topic. Anyways, but you get what I'm saying, right? So that's the first part of this. You have to identify that up front. You can do this really that should be something that you're working with the client. They, clearly you should know what it is and what they're trying to say with it. Are they trying to, just give that message, that direction? Is it clear from them? They want you to do X, Y, Z. They want you to be conversational. They want you to be upbeat and excited. This is announcer style. They want you to be an announcer. They want you to be laid back. They want you to be thought-provoking. All the things that we go through. That's the first part of the script analysis, getting all of that information. Okay? The next part of it, which I think brings voiceovers alive, is the subtext. I call it the story underneath the story, but that's subtext, right? So basically, the next part is you have to answer, and this is you. So all the information we took was from outside of us, right? From the author or the producer or the director, the copy, all of that stuff was given to us by someone else. This next part is what we have to determine ourselves. Okay, and that is the subtext, the story underneath the story. What are we bringing to this? What are we saying while we are saying the words? Okay, and that's what makes it really special, because it's not just about what you say. It's about how you say it. And when you're analyzing the script, you have to determine what you're going to bring with the subtext to this. Meaning, why don't we just share things by words? Like, do you ever notice when you have an email and whether you write it or you get it from someone, and it's like it's really not very nice, or it seems like it's not very nice. I need some coffee. Right? Like, you're like, wait a minute, what's the deal? why are they being so mean? Gosh, they're so rude. But then when you talk to them, they're like, it wasn't meant to be rude at all. And then if you read it a different way, all of a sudden it's not rude. Maybe it's playful or it's something. Because there was no subtext to it. There was no way to offer any sort of underlying story. Which is the same reason why AI can never compete with real people. Okay, real storytellers, because there's something there that we bring to it, our opinion about it, what we're trying to say with it. So you need to figure that out in the second part of this script analysis, is what is the story you're bringing to this? How do you feel about it? How do you want to tell me about how do you want to tell me these words you're telling me? Because that will differentiate you from every other voice actor. And by the way, on a side note, if you're looking to find that spark from you as like a narrator, say, what am I bringing to the table that's different from everybody else? This is it. It's your decision. It's your voice. It's your acting decision. Okay, that's the subtext. Now I call it subtext, aka story underneath the story. Okay. In literature, right, subtext is like there's other things going on underneath, and that's why I use it in this way, okay? And I don't mean from the general literary sense of subtext. I'm using it in the form of like the subtext, meaning what are we bringing to this? How are our feelings on this? Okay, how are we saying it? That's what gives people like, oh, because like if I say, I love you, or I say, I love you. Right? That is the same three words, but because I said them differently, they have different meanings, right? So that's exactly what I'm trying to say. And the third thing is our ability to what was the third thing we spoke we spoke about? We spoke about intent, right? We spoke about the second thing is, guys, my brain's getting the fricassee. We just spoke about the subtext that you bring to it. And, the third thing is the emphasis. Now, this is what most people think about when they get into script analysis is, okay, where do I go? Like, I'm going to mark up this script with different types of modes of emphasis, like pauses here, or extra pitch variation here, or louder or softer here. Okay, that's what most people think about, and that's what this third part is about. Now you bringing emphasis to different parts of the script, one part of the script, one word, Okay, and we've talked about there's many modes I think of emphasis, but the main ones we try to talk about I think are speeding up and slowing down. There's going up and down in pitch. There's pausing before and after a word. There's being louder and softer. Like using different modes of expression of emphasis can allow us to really bring out the important parts of something we say. This goes back to the first part of script analysis, which was the intent, because in specific types of voiceover deliveries, right, there's going to be different moments for those emphasis. I find that pulling back and focus, if you want to emphasize something, don't emphasize everything else. Let me say that again. If you want to emphasize something, don't emphasize everything else. I see a lot of this is a challenge for new voice actors. They try to make the whole thing just this super exciting thing to listen to. And right, and it's just this constant, like, what are you just, like, it gets exhausting listening to someone because every word is like the end of the world. Okay, it's so emphasized. No, if you want to emphasize something, don't emphasize everything else. Okay, if you think of it that way. So this third part is you going through and you really looking through the moments where you feel are good parts to emphasize, good parts to make stick out beyond what everything else is. And using those different things of the way I told you. I mean, I think the biggest way to make things stick out typically, right, are slowing down, making a statement, and pausing afterwards. Because when we pause after a statement or an idea, just like I did there, people are going to think about what you just said. And it's also powerful when you pause before something. People are going to expect that answer to be important. You see, like I just said, that answer to be, all right, and you're probably like, what? All right, because you're building anticipation, in this case, through silence, right? Because we're like, what is happening? What? Silence is deafening. Okay, this is using modes of emphasis. How do you do, like, so the I guess to tie this all together, you've got to study these things. You've got to study these things. You've got to go on the internet. You've got to look at people's work. You've got to think about these three things. Now, these are things that I've put together, right, on a script analysis. I'm sure there's many other people teach script analysis differently. And of course, I'm not having a script in my hand walking through this with you. But those three things I like to use together when I'm looking at a script. And oftentimes those things come quickly because I make quick decisions with them now. But it took me a lot of time to think about this and to look through different stuff and, practice these things. Don't underestimate the importance of practice. I've been talking a lot this week about practicing, right? We've talked about breath control this week. We've talked about warming up and things like that. Practice this stuff. And because you want to be ready when the work comes in. Okay. But listen, I hope that this script analysis and these three things helped, right? We talked about intent. We talked about, intent. We talked about subtext or your story underneath the story. And we talked about emphasis. Okay. Probably could come up with some acronym there eventually, but anyways, those are the three things we talked about. Write those down, and think about when you approach a script, look at it that way, right? What's the intent? What is the emphasis that you're trying to bring about, and what is the subtext or the story beneath the story? So what is that? ISE, intent, subtext, emphasis. Easy. Easy. ISE, because that's how you spell easy. Oh, I like that. Easy. Okay. We're going to use easy from now on to talk about script analysis. Just make it easy. I'm an idiot, but you know what? That's okay. It's okay to be an idiot sometimes. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember, check out if you'd like more of this idiot, check out VO's Journey Elite Academy below. We're offering 50% off the first month, and if you'd like voiceover using Easy from many other voice actors, if you need a voiceover, check out academyvoices.com. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great one. Bye-bye.